Before we move on with other stuff, Jim, let me ask you a WWE-related story because it's coming in as of this morning, as we are recording.
Uh-oh.
No, nothing bad, actually. This is somewhat positive, it appears. But we were attached to a tweet here from someone named Kevin Wong. In my exclusive...
Mr. Wong! No offense.
No, that wasn't Mr. Wong. It was like, this is my friend. It was Wang, not even Wong.
I know, Wang, Wong, same. Close.
All right, it's not
One
close.
letter.
But anyway, here's what he wrote. In my exclusive Complex interview with... that's the name of the magazine. The interview isn't Complex, necessarily. In my exclusive Complex interview with new WWE Hall of Fame inductee Sharmell, Sharmell discusses her run-ins with the Boogeyman and her time in OVW with Jim Cornette. So I'm going to pull up this quote, what she says about you, but Sharmell going into the WWE Hall of Fame, that word coming out this morning, and here it is. I found it right away. Sharmell attributes her promo skills to OVW trainer and booker Jim Cornette, the manager and mouthpiece for Mid-South Tag Team Legends, the Midnight Express. Cornette made Sharmell the valet for the Suicide Blondes. And here's a quote. Cornette would always say, "You've got to go for it," said Sharmell. He would always encourage me to be over the top. You always want to make the fans feel something. You have to go there. And there it is, a quote about some of your encouragement to her, but what are your thoughts on Sharmell?
I've said this a bunch. I love Sharmell. I liked working with her. She's a nice lady. I would say a nice girl, and 20 years ago, she was a girl. Now I'll say nice lady. She's still a lot younger than me. And as a matter of fact, we told a story here of one of my favorite incidents, favorite moments, as they say, on OVW television a few months ago. It was with Sharmell, and I said, when they did the wig spot with her, and I said, who was the other girl? And my lovely wife and talented wife, Stacy Sin, said, "Hey, you bastard, it was me. You raved about it for months." Well, it was 20 years ago, but Sharmell was signed to a developmental deal, and when she came in, she was inexperienced, but she was training, but also we made her the manager of the Suicide Blondes, who at that time were Jason Lee and Derek King. Because I'd given Candido the Suicide Blonde gimmick, and I liked it, and I liked Jason Lee, who was a young man here that had trained in OVW under Danny Davis. And Derek King from Memphis was always a super worker, and he bleached his hair blonde so he looked like Shelton Benjamin, the gold standard gimmick. So the Suicide Blondes and Sister Sharmell, she came out with, because she had been a legitimate beauty contest, contest or beauty pageant contestant or whatever, and she had the whole gimmick going on with the gown, and she had the big blonde wig, because she's the sister of the Suicide Blondes. And we did the deal with the two heel teams getting involved, where it was the Disciples of Sin and the Suicide Blondes, because they each had a girl, so we could do this spot, and the people loved it, and get them, involved with each other. But Sharmell is doing something to one of the Disciples of Sin, and Sin comes in the ring from behind her and grabs, and you know how they grab the hair, the girls do, and jerk the hair back, and the girl takes the flat back bump. Oh my God. Sin grabs the back of Sharmell's hair and jerks for all she's got, and the wig comes off, and Sin almost falls over from jerking so hard and just getting a wig, and Sharmell stands up. The look on her face was priceless, and it was a great spot. Having said that, Sharmell, she got hurt. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was a bad knee injury or something that she got hurt when she was training, and so she wasn't here very long. And she ultimately opted to not wrestle as much as valet for Booker. But I've said I always enjoyed Sharmell, and actually she was easier to work with sometimes than Booker was. Is she a Hall of Fame wrestler for the WWE? Are they taking into account her work with the King also? Maybe she's a Hall of Fame queen consort or whatever her title was. because I've seen people shitting on it because, well, is she the second coming of Mildred Burke or whatever? But I mean, it is what it is. She was a WWE personality, and she was with Booker. He was on top. So, but as a wrestler, I don't know whether she would be one of these people that would be campaigning for herself to be put in the Hall of Fame as a wrestler. It didn't go that long.
Well, again, there is a big difference between a wrestling Hall of Fame and the WWE Hall of Fame. It's really just Vince McMahon anointing people to be Hall of Famers for one reason or another. And of course, it means a lot to them. I mean, you can't ever take away the fact that it really does mean a lot to the people going in.
I'm not pooping on Sharmell, though, there. I've always liked her and thought she was a nice lady.
Well, she will be on the road to WrestleMania. Of course, that means the road to Dallas. And if Sharmell's going to be on the road and maybe her husband will be driving, I'm not really sure what goes on there, she may want to make sure that her car has the finest auto parts, the latest of everything. And maybe she could tell her husband to go to the website.
Well, there you go. Just go ahead and spill it, Brian. RockAuto.com, Sharmell. That's where you need to send Booker to. Because if he's going to put you in the Booker mobile and drive you all the way down there to Dallas to get inducted into that Hall of Fame, you don't want to break down on the side of the road along the way. And that's what people do. They break down on the side of the road when they don't do their maintenance on their automobile. And that can be expensive these days because you will get raked over the coals and treated like a refugee trying to buy auto parts at these brick and mortar stores. For heaven's sake, you'll be tortured and sent out in the streets to starve and beg for sustenance. But at rockauto.com, you go right there to one website and you can see every part of every make and model of every car. I mean, you can rebuild a DeLorean from scratch with a roll of duct tape and a screwdriver with all the stuff that you can buy at rockauto.com. If you don't believe me, well, just try it and then tell me how it works out for you. Folks, at rockauto.com, they don't have different price tiers for professional mechanics and you do-it-yourselfers. No, they treat everybody the same. They're going to fuck you the same way regardless of who you are.
No, they're not going to fuck anyone. They're going to give everyone great deals. Let's make sure we differentiate between the two. Yes.
Right. They're actually going to treat everybody the same and give you what you deserve. Their prices are the same for everybody. They're reliably low. That's how they're described here in this information I have. RockAuto.com always offers the lowest prices possible. And that's the lowest prices possible that the boss says, hey, it's not possible for you to charge any less for this shit, so don't do it. The lowest prices possible rather than changing prices based on what the market will bear like those airlines do. I mean, you try to buy just the left wing on a jumbo 747. See how much that'll cost you. RockAuto.com is for everybody. It don't require membership. It don't require membership. It does require good grammar. It does not require membership or account logins because it's a family business. And that family's been doing, well, that's the next line there. And that family's been doing this for a long time, so they got it right by now. They've served auto parts customers.
What does that mean? Does that mean family businesses don't require logins? What does that mean?
No, they're just, come on in. You're part of the family.
Oh, okay.
They know you by sight. It's where everybody knows your name. You don't have to log in. You just say, hey, it's me, Bert. I need a Framistat.
Bert.
Yeah, and then they'll say, Bert needs a Framistat. Can you mail that to him? Well, sure. Is he still living on Elm Street? Yeah. Go to rockauto.com. for auto and body parts from hundreds of manufacturers. They've got body parts too. If you're needing a leg or an arm or a finger or any other appendage, give rockauto.com a look in the human body parts section. Apparently they have those too.
There are no human body parts, only auto parts. It says
right here, body parts.
Only auto body parts.
Oh, well then why did they put and in between auto and body? See, that's auto parts and body parts, not auto body parts. If you've got an auto that has a body and you need a part for it, rockauto.com. The catalog is unique and remarkably easy to navigate. Apparently, they even have boats. Possibly you can join the Merchant Marine. Quickly see all the parts available for your vehicle and figure out how you can fuck your own car up trying to put them on. and then choose the prices you prefer. And they're always, as I mentioned, reliably low. Go to rockauto.com right now and see all the parts available for your car, truck, boat, or amphibious vehicle. And write JCE in their How Did You Hear About Us box so they know that we sent you. You won't get a discount. They're already too cheap, but they will know that
They're not cheap.
they're cheap.
Their prices are cheap.
Well, yeah, they're cheap. They're a cheap place. You go there, they're fucking cheap. You can get all kinds of shit for very little money. They're cheap. That's what I said. Write JCE in the How Did You Hear About Us box, though, because we'll get something eventually. I'm not sure what. Amazing selection and reliably low prices. All the parts your car will ever need at rockauto.com.